You are listening to a special edition of the Fever Report with John Robertson and Michelle Garmon. Their reaction to the Indiana Fever's 84-68 win in Vegas against the Aces on Sunday night. We react after most Fever games, but with them on the West Coast this week, it might be a little hit and miss. So make sure you're subscribed to the Central Indiana Sports Report so you don't miss any of it. Welcome, Fever fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for a special edition of the Fever Report with John Robertson and Michelle Garmon. They are both here to react to the Indiana Fever's 84-68 win in Vegas on Sunday night. And guys, it's safe to say the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark.
Oh, God.
Please don't start that.
Yeah, I knew, we knew that narrative was going to happen, and it is happening on social media, but
it's just dumb.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of this stuff going on, and I'm ignoring it all.
I think the Fever are better defensively without Caitlin Clark right now, and I think it's because her back is actually also hurt. She's been bothered by it a little bit, but overall, they're not a better team without her. There are times on the defensive end of the floor they are, but overall, no.
They're meshing a little better without her right now because she's in and out of practice. She missed all of last season. It makes sense. But they're only going to reach their pinnacle with Caitlin Clark.
Oh, of course.
Let's not be stupid.
I'm going to argue that the game on Sunday really doesn't mean a whole lot for either side because with A'ja Wilson out and Caitlin Clark out, you really don't get to see much of the games. Oh, no, I know you were. I know. That's just been my take the whole time is the game really great win. Glad we got the win. It was kind of a dominant win, really. But
it really was.
But without A'ja, Vegas is not going to be their core that they're used to, and without Caitlin, the Fever are going to play differently than they would with her. So it's really a tale of two different teams. But what we saw was great. The things we got out of Aaliyah, and I really want to shout out Lexi having a great first half, excellent first half from Lexi. It was just good to see everybody step up and play like they needed to play and get the win because that's really what they got to do is stack wins. Just keep stacking wins.
They do. And you know what? And I thought she didn't score a lot, but I thought they got another nice performance from Monique Billings. I think she's starting to feel comfortable in her role here with the Fever on both ends of the floor.
I think you're right. I think Monique is really starting to look good out there. I'm actually liking the minutes we're getting from Timpson. She only played 8 minutes, but when she's in, she looks more confident. I really think, and I think Raven only scored 6 points, but like her defense was really, really good yesterday.
What Raven gives you defensively, she gives you someone who's going to pick up their best player who you don't want the ball in their hands of. She's going to pick them up full court and not let them inbound it to her, and she just brings defensive pressure.
I think everybody's just starting to find their role that they need to play, and they're playing that role.
Speaking of which, it's really nice when Caitlin Clark's out that you have a go-to scorer like Kelsey Mitchell because she can just take over a game at any moment.
Of course. She is just unbelievable. We've said this multiple times on this show, but it's almost like we don't even blink or think about when she gets 20. So when she gets 27, we're like, oh, pretty good day. But that's a really good day in the WNBA for just about anybody.
And she had a couple of baskets where she ended up with wide open layups because she was so much faster than everybody else. So fast.
I can't think of anybody who's really faster than her with the ball in their hands. I can think of maybe some other people that are just as fast, if not a little quicker, like on cuts. But with the ball in her hands, nobody else. And I don't want to get too far off of this because we can talk about this on Fever Report later. But will the Fever even be able to keep Kelsey Mitchell next year? That's another question we're going to have to tackle soon. But
it is a question whether she's part of the core or not. I think she is, but they're going to have to make some financial decisions around three of the best players in the league.
Yeah, it's going to be tough financially.
I really liked what Harris gave them in the starting lineup with her passing. Some really nice passing.
Yeah, she didn't have a big scoring day, but she doesn't have to have a big scoring day. She just has to do what they need to do as far as movement, and she's giving them what they need. So shout out to Tyrese for actually being a good leader on the floor. Shooting day.
And she looks more comfortable too. I think for her, I think when you're new to the Fever and when you're playing with Caitlin Clark and you haven't really played with her before, it's kind of hard to find your movement because Caitlin is very creative and a good passer. And you have to find your role and the rhythm with her, right? because she has the ball in her hands a lot. And if you're used to playing in a system where the ball moves more passing, or you don't have a true point guard with the ball in her hands a lot, then it's a little bit different. And so glad to see her get these minutes right now because it builds her confidence. And I'll be glad then to see how then watch her play some more with Caitlin Clark, because then the Fever can be really dangerous. And as they go in, as the season goes on, I just really think they can, and I think it will allow them to be able to not wear out legs, especially Kelsey Mitchell's legs. That's the only thing I worry about. That's why I like blowout games right now, because without Caitlin, we know she's the go-to, the big scorer. So she's going to play 32 or more minutes a game. And if we can get blowouts, and she's right there about 32 minutes, which I think is good.
All right, guys, great way to start off a West Coast road trip. Of course, back in Vegas on Sunday. Off a couple of days before going and playing the Sparks and the Mercury on back-to-back nights. Not sure about Caitlin's status. Not sure you want her playing against Phoenix, to be honest with you, but really big next 3 games coming up here. Quick programming note, we typically have reactions after games. We might, after these games, we might not. They're out west, so if we do it, it'll be the next day. You'll know when they pop up or they don't. So just wanted to let everybody know. Typically we do when they're in the east, but typically not when they're out west. But if something of significance happens, we'll probably talk about it between now and Sunday's Fever Report. John.
Yeah, I think the big story is going to be the upcoming Mercury game, right? Like everybody's going to want to talk about it. I think the Fever Sparks game should be interesting, exciting. Again, a couple of injuries on that one, but everybody's going to want to talk about the Mercury game.
Well, I don't see Caitlin playing in both. Not as she's working her way back with back issues, especially being out on the West Coast.
Do you think she'll play in either?
Yes. I think she'll play. I wouldn't be surprised to see her play versus the Sparks, just to get her out there a little bit. I don't know that she'll play a lot. Don't think she'll play the Mercury. And then depending on the situation with the Aces, and they may not play her against the Aces again if Asia Wilson's not back.
She'll probably play 1 game of the 2. That's what they're saying right now.
Yeah. And just for the record, Becky Hammond said Asia could have played yesterday, but they chose not to, just to let her recoup. So what's up with there's conspiracy theories about that one too, but like I honestly think that some of these WNBA fans, I use the term loosely, I think they prefer the conspiracies to the actual sport. So it is what it is. I don't buy into most of that, just for the record. I just want to watch basketball.
The rumor is they may not want her to play quote unquote back-to-backs, but they may just not want her to play against Phoenix, because right now that's dangerous in this situation when she's already a little bit injured. And sorry, but Phoenix is a bunch of thugs, and that's the way it is.
I think Indiana can beat Phoenix without her anyway, so I think Phoenix is that bad. I don't nothing against Caitlin. She's great. She elevates the team. She absolutely does, but I think that they don't need her to beat Phoenix.
I agree with you, John. I don't think they do either. It'll be interesting but we know that the WNBA has terrible leadership. But if I'm the WNBA, if I'm Kathy Engelbart, I'm there with my president of the officials, and we're at that Phoenix Mercury game, and we're sitting right where the officials can see us all game long.
So you can get booed the whole game?
Well, go ahead and get booed, but just so the officials know you're there and you're really actively, and you'll be taking notes. That won't happen, but that's what should happen.
So next game's Wednesday. We got a couple days off to chill.
Thanks so much to John and Michelle. Thank you so much for listening. This is the point where I usually tell everybody when we'll be back, but not exactly sure this week. What I do know is there will be a Fever Report on Sunday. There is one on every Sunday. Please join us for that and subscribe so you don't miss any of the reaction podcasts. Do it. Do it. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.